Good morning. It's Pastor Paz here for the Gospel Network. Let's talk about the week in review, some of the highlights from the week, and what that means to you and I. So let's get started. First, we had a coup this week in Turkey, an attempted coup. Military attempting to take over the government. Yeah, it sucks. They have that kind of stuff happen all the time. If you remember, we had in Egypt the the spring something or others, I don't know, and I don't care. But in this case, it's really dangerous. Turkey is a NATO member. And don't know how that happened. No, I know how it happened, because the U.S. likes to base our wars out of Turkey in that area for, excuse me, for our little fights in the Middle East. But the joke's on us at this point, because right now they've got a Air Force base trapped, the Turkish government, and they have seized our personnel and our air base, pretty much kept it from doing anything or getting anything. And that's based on paranoia. So now we have to wait and see what happens, because our government is refusing to take any action. One issue, besides the fact that we have family members and military personnel there, we have nuclear weapons there. Yes, that's right. We have nuclear bombs stationed in Turkey. Now, that could really become a big surprise to a lot of people. And like, what? Why would we have our nuclear bombs in Turkey? Well, that's so that we can get there into the fight quicker and nuke people local to that area. Now, for me, that just pisses me right off, because, we gave Israel their nukes. The nukes they have are American. And so we are putting the most dangerous weapon into the hands and areas of people that are unstable. And that's going to hurt us in the end. And right now, if we don't get those people out of there, there's a good chance that it could go south real quick. As Americans, we need to we have a military that's the largest in the world. Get in there, get our people out, and let them do their thing. If that's what they want to do, to destroy themselves, let them destroy themselves, please. We don't need to do anything with that. Now, ISIS is a whole different thing. ISIS wants to go international, and we have to stop that. So, enough of that. Anyway, next is the RNC convention with Donald Trump and the rest of the circus. The rest of the circus. So, Donald Trump picked, what's his name? Pence, the governor of Indiana. Well, that just so happens I live in Indiana. He is the worst governor we've ever had. He did nothing but cause problems. He is purely a mouthpiece for the rich and corporations, and the right wing. Right? This guy, I can't believe that Trump picked him, because Trump didn't. The RNC picked him. If you'll notice, when he got picked, Trump was like, hey, can I find somebody else? Can I please? And they said, no, you cannot. We've decided. Based on this, a few conspiracies have come up that are not so far off the ledge. That they picked Pence because he's the right winger, and he will do whatever they tell him to do in their base, because their base is still nothing but right-wing extremists, right-wing terrorists in our own country. So they figure if they can get the mouthpiece Trump to win, if he does actually win, that he will either do absolutely nothing during his term except for play golf and have a good time all over the world. And behind the scenes, Pence and the rest of them will be working on making the United States a 1984 environment. But what the conspiracy goes on to say is that maybe Trump will just quit, right? Because he'll get bored, or he'll want to do his own thing, or he's already established he's president. He got the big trophy, and now he can step aside and find something else to do. And that would put Pence as president. And you would be without any opportunity to change that. It will happen if that's the case. But let's move on to the DNC. The DNC, the cheating bastards, the DNC. Yes, Bernie Sanders is an independent, and he ran on the Democratic ticket because he usually votes Democratic. The reason he did that was for the funding and for the people, for the crowd, right? They needed a leader. They found him as the leader, or he found them, and he wanted to be their leader. But they didn't want him. They wanted one thing and one thing only, and that was Hillary Clinton. Yeah, well, we see emails this week that the DNC did whatever they could to fight against Bernie Sanders. Again, you'll notice that they didn't talk about Bernie Sanders in the first 6 months of his candidacy. They only talked about Hillary Clinton, and it wasn't until they felt like Hillary had enough delegates that they could just start hammering Sanders about being a bad boy and not following through because, clearly the people wanted Hillary. Not clearly. Again, they only talked about Sanders after they knew they had enough delegates for Hillary. So they were working against Sanders the entire time. Now, that being said, Sanders went ahead and said he would vote for Hillary, give his support for Hillary. But guess what? The people, we know better. And this group will not vote for Hillary. They won't. Not because of Trump. It doesn't matter. They just won't vote. My suggestion is you get out there and find a third party. Again, I asked, you spend your money on a third party. Liberals, or a Libertarian Party, or the Green Party. My preference is the Green Party because they care about people. They don't care about themselves exclusively. They care about the people in general and the general health of the people. So, it's been a kind of a crazy week. And we need to keep up that the acknowledgement that there's a lot of behind the door things going on out there, and they're generally not good for you. We've had more killings, more mass killings. ISIS has been on the prowl. Here in the United States, it's been okay so far. We've had a lot of bad things as far as groups killing other groups, police getting killed, police killing people. That's their little sidetrack war, so that you don't look at the big picture, which is what the rich are getting out of this whole thing. If you'll notice that Hillary picked her VP. He was at one point the governor of Virginia, and he backs her on the TPP, which is the foreign trade agreement with Asia. If we continue to open up foreign trade, what it does is just hurts our own infrastructure. That will not help us. Again, it allows them to corporations to build in other countries and develop those countries and take that money, bring it back to the U.S. and dominate the U.S. just so that they have a huge playground, right? They have a big, huge playground. So it won't help us because we won't manufacture stuff in America or in Europe to take to Asia, that's not going to happen. We don't export to these countries. We export very, very little, and most of it is technology, not actual goods. So it doesn't provide jobs. Those jobs are overseas, and what happens is they build those up, they sell them cheaply on the market, and they take the money and build up those areas, take the people out of their villages and their small towns and their ways of life, and change it so that it's all industrial, and they're forced to work in factories or on large farms, make no money, but have to learn to live like that. And so they have to be consumers. They have to be consumers so that they can get that money to the rich. So we're not fixing the problem in the country here. We're just sending it overseas. And as we have a drought of money here in the United States, over there, they're just creating money and creating a new crop, per se, people and income for themselves until it dries up, like it's drying up in China now. And that's why they want this TPP. It's not because they don't want to do business with China, but because people in China are waking up. And they know that they're being abused and they're being used and their environment is going to hell. And so they're starting to have to do something actually about it, because the people can't live like that and you can't produce like that and the efficiency goes down. So they have to make changes. And based on that, they move on. They say, okay, well, or based on that, they start to do something about it, and that costs money. And for the rich, because they want to make a lot of money for next to nothing, they say, well, here's the deal. I'm leaving you because I got to find another place where I can exploit the people and the environment and the resources for my own good. And see, and here in America, we think, oh, that's good because they're smart, right? They're smart. They're going to go do that. And that makes them money. Making money or having money does not make you smart, right? Because you can do that in the short term. I can screw somebody over. I can take money, all right, and I can buy land, and I can say, I'm going to put in a huge oil well right here in my city. Or I'm going to put in an oil lake. Let's do that one. I'm going to put an oil lake in here. Now, it will kill everybody. It will eventually kill everybody in the neighborhoods. But I can, if I have enough money, I can go to the politician in this county and say, look, this will be great for the people. It'll be great for them. And I'm going to slide them money under the table. And they're going to vote for me. And it's going to be a bad thing. But I'm not going to live here. I'm going to move away so I don't have to be close to that oil thing. But it produced 2 jobs. Somebody to stand there and stir the oil so it doesn't get too thick. And another one to pump, to turn it on and off the pump to all the places in the United States. It's killing everyone around, but it produced 2 jobs at minimum wage. Yay for me. I'm a great guy. But I'm not going to live here, and I'm making tons of money off it. That's exactly how it is all over the world. Until we just deal with that and put a cap on that, which means you say, we raise the capital gains tax. If you don't know what capital gains tax is, get out there and find out what it is. Find out that it's only 20% and how these rich people are doing it, because they're not just getting rich by going out and doing these things, which you might say they're doing work as. They are paying off politicians and influencing other people to get their way. I'm Pastor Paz for the Week in Review for the Lost Bull Network. Please open your eyes. Get out there and do some research, and you'll see things aren't so great. Have a great day. Thanks.